Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedric. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. I am Cedric 𝗟𝗶𝗍𝗶𝗶, and I am your host tonight. This is Talk Leadership with Cedric, where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. You know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of buy-in, which says people buy into the leader, then they buy into the vision. Tonight, I have a guest with me, and I'm going to, every night we have a guest, I do a proper introduction, and tonight is no different. We will do a proper introduction of our guest as well. So I'm going to bring him up on the stage, and then I will do a proper introduction for him. So tonight we have Wilford Carter II. And Wilford, let me read his bio a little bit here. Wilford is a dedicated educator, business leader, and community leader with a lifelong commitment to serving the people of Lake Charles. As a school administrator, he has worked to create better opportunities for students, advocating for quality education and stronger support systems for families and teachers. His leadership in education has given him a deep understanding of the challenges facing youth and the need for policies that truly benefit the community. In addition to that, in addition to his work in education, Wilford is a successful entrepreneur. He's a serial entrepreneur with a strong presence in the business sector. He is the owner of Carter Bail Bonds, where he has helped countless families navigate the legal system with fairness and dignity. He also manages Carter Home Repair, a real estate investment property rehabilitating business focused on revitalizing homes and neighborhoods in Lake Charles. Wilford is a charging Indian like myself. He graduated in 1991. And let's welcome Mr. Wilford Carter II to Talk Leadership with Cedric. So welcome, Wilford.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to be on your platform. Anytime I get an opportunity to speak my truth and speak my passion of what I want to do, I feel that I have to do it. And this is a great platform, especially when it comes to leadership. I've been a part of a few of your classes, and I've learned a lot from you. So I'm honored to be on your show.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm excited that you're here as well. And I know that, our audience wants to be here to hear you talk about your vision for the city of Lake Charles. And we're going to dive right in and we'll just go through a list of questions that I want to ask, and feel free to add anything that you want to. So the first thing is, I want to start off by helping some audience members know you, but some may not know you as well. So give us a little bit about your background and what motivated you to run for mayor, and what do you hope to achieve for the city of Lake Charles?
Well, like you said, I'm born and raised in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm a graduate of Louisiana Tech, and also a graduate of Washington. I'm a charging Indian. I've lived in North Lake Charles all my life. I'm 53 years old now. And since I've been in Lake Charles as a kid and as I've grown, the city of Lake Charles have not grown as fast as other cities in the surrounding areas. We got a city Lafayette population used to be smaller than ours, but they started to look into the future and build opportunities for other people. That gave them the ability to grow faster. And now they have a lot of things, restaurants, they got a lot of entertainment, and they benefiting from the ability to have a vision. So I wanted to make sure, this is the issue of Lake Charles that really bothers with Major One. For some reason, we have a separation of division in Lake Charles where they focus on South Lake Charles and they neglect North Lake Charles. And they have a stigma or an idea or some type of perception of North Lake Charles is dangerous, when the data doesn't show that at all. It's ghetto or it's somewhere that you don't want to live. And my neighborhood is one of the most prominent neighborhoods in the city of Lake Charles, but people from the South have never seen it. So, and you also have a lack of diversity. Even though the city of Lake Charles is 51% African American, And when it comes to leadership, when it comes to building certain things and economic development in Lake Charles, there's not opportunity for diversity and it's not building for diversity. So I think that the entire city needs to be looked at as a whole. I think other people that are born and raised in North Lake Charles also need to sit at the table. We have a police department that is, even though we 51% of the population African Americans, we only have 15% African Americans in the police force. It becomes very difficult to police a neighborhood or community that you don't live in or you have never been to. And so I think the first thing we need to do is understand that we have a tremendous resources in Lake Charles because of the waterways, because of the transportation of trains and the casino opportunities, as well as petrochemicals. We have a lot of resources in this area that we really not taking advantage of. We also have a bridge in I-10 goes right through North Lake Charles, where you have 80 to 90,000 cars run through Lake Charles per day. And we're not taking advantage of the opportunity to get capital for those cars, get them off the road and build some type of capital so we can have more than proper services. That people always want the basic services, but we got to go beyond basic services. And another reason I don't see us taking care of the little people, taking care of the people that actually don't vote, taking care of the homeless, taking care of the youth, and also taking care of the elderly. So I put my hat in the race. I'm the only Democrat in the race in the city, where 65% of the city is actually Democrat. So I felt it was a responsibility that somebody had to take on this, and I took that responsibility.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed last night that you said that. You said it multiple times that you're a Democrat, and I know some people said, "Hey, so why do you keep saying that?" So explain to the people why is that's important.
Well, this is the reason. I don't think people understand the direction that the state is going in. Our governor, Governor Landry, has already introduced a bill that we're going to be a two-party state. What that means is the only two parties, and only two parties that became president, only two parties that became governor was a Democrat and Republican. So he's introducing the bill. If you're not a Democrat or Republican, you won't be able to vote. You have to be written down. Okay, it has to be on documentation if you're a Democrat or Republican, or you won't be able to vote and you're not going to be able to run. Now this is going to pass. It's not going. It didn't pass this year, but it almost did. So in the next year or two, it's most likely going to pass.
Yeah, and that's a great point. So let me do a follow up on that. Why should that matter to the folks in North Lake Charles? Because I know it's important. Why should it matter to them? Why should they worry about that?
Well, first, the Democratic Party for the last 80 years has been fighting for not only the working class and building the working class, but also been fighting to support and build support systems for people that can't support themselves. So the Democratic Party is a party that want to make sure they take care of homeless people. They want to make sure they increase services, income for services, people like the police department, the sheriff department, as well as teachers. I'm an educator. So when you look at the basics, now I'm a Southern Democrat. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't agree with everything that Democrats want to do, especially when it comes to the national level. All right, and I have some conservative values, but but when they look at the Republican Party and look at what they want to do and the change they want to make, majority of things I agree with the Democrats. And that's making sure that you take care of people, especially the people that they haven't been able to take care of themselves. And so once you help the least of us, and that's biblical principle, take care of the least of us, and the entire city will grow.
Yeah. So helping the disenfranchised. And that's why that's important to the folks in North Lake Charles. So if you're listening, folks, you need to make sure that whether you live in Lake Charles or you used to live in Lake Charles, you have relatives that live here. You need to make sure you get that message back to your people that they need to get registered, one, on paper as a Democrat. Because if the state continues to go in the way it's going, your vote may not even be valid or available, right? So you need to make sure that you get that message out. So, you're in education, and, jumping into the political arena is a different ball, right? So what made you decide to jump into public service specifically for the mayor?
Well, I've always been a teacher serving the public, and I've always been in public service, but I've never been in an elected position. I never, ever, ever want to even be named or called a politician, but I'm asking for people vote to have an elected position because politics it gets strange, especially if you get in it too long. And I keep telling people that one of the best things about our president right now is that he has a term limit, and one of the best things about our governor is they have a term limit. The best thing about any politician, it should be that they cannot be there for long. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm running. I'm not going to be a politician for long. I'm going to hold this seat for 2 terms because a true democracy is you have to have just 2 terms because the longer you stay, the more stagnated, the more stale, the more the opportunity to corrupt not only yourself but the culture because you still have the same people in it. And so I think it's very, very important that the person that's the mayor now, he's been there for 2 terms and that's for 8 years. I think it's important that we need to move on to another individual that has not been in it. I'm not a politician. I don't even want to I didn't even want to operate as a politician. I don't want to just have Democrats on my team. I want to have a mixture of people on my team, of Democrats as well as Republicans. I want to have a very diverse group of not only whites and blacks, but we have a huge Latino community in this area. So we need to make sure we include everyone at the table.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so let's talk about economic development. So what's your vision for economic development in Lake Charles over the next, let's say the next 4 years if you're mayor?
So it's multiple stages of economic development. First, we have to look at large corporations and invite specific. Because we have to, when it comes to economic development, that's the growth. And when you develop in an economic, you have to control it. You have to manage that growth. Because the infrastructure, if you can't handle it, then you're going to have a headache when it comes to traffic and growing people. So once we have large corporations, like you have the plants, you have the casinos, but we have to have other industries besides those 2. We cannot rely our tax dollars on 2 industries. That you're going to find yourself in trouble when one of those leaves or when our neighbors like Texas take on the casinos and things like that. So my plan is to attract, be aggressive to go out and strategically get certain industries, invite them to come in to our organization, which our city is, understand the culture, that we want to keep our culture. We want to preserve our natural resources, but we are very, very friendly people. We are hard workers. But once you come in, it has to be with intention that you hire at least 70% of the people within Lake Charles. If the 70% of people in Lake Charles are not qualified to take that job, we need to prepare education facilities when it comes to well as need to educate people. But this is large corporations when you're hiring 1,000+ people. Other than that, you have to focus on small companies. When you hire by 1 to 10 to 15 to 5 people, those small businesses are the lifeblood of any city. So we have to make sure we're very strategic in mentoring people that want to start their business. And I've always been promoting this, and I'm a mentor myself when it comes to the younger generation that wants to start a business. So people that's been in business for over 10 years, that's a whole key coach. And you'll have that person on your team as a mentor to help you step by step. We also need to, every month, have meetings, and we have to promote every small business that we possibly can, as much as we possibly can. Because one thing that we don't do is that people fail to do, that's marketing. They don't market their business. We have a lot of restaurants that are amazing restaurants that people don't market. And we have a lot of gifted people inside the city that has a business that we really don't know about. So it should be the city's responsibility. Shine a bright light on as many companies and many businesses as we possibly can and make sure that they are stable and understand how to actually operate a business. Not to be an entrepreneur, not to be a person that just work and work and work and don't understand the groundwork on how to actually have a business and be scale your business. We have to teach and educate as many people as we can, and that comes from older entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and that's actually a great point. I think last night in the debate they talked a little bit about entrepreneurship, but let's talk about that because you're serial entrepreneurs, right?
Yep.
And we know that from the very beginning of building America, it was entrepreneurs, right? So entrepreneurship is not something that's new or innovative or anything like this. So how do we get more people to take that responsibility on of being an entrepreneur? Because we know that one, you get to then control
Yeah.
your life and your trajectory. We know that too. When you become an entrepreneur, you take more pride in that ownership. So now you're going to be willing to give back to other parts of the city or give back to your community versus if you're just punching a clock 9 to 5. So how do we do that? How do we get people invested in more being an entrepreneur?
First thing you need to do is let people realize that the number one employer in the entire state, the entire country, is entrepreneurship, and it's an employer that employs less than 10 people. That's the number one employer. So you got to let people understand, and this is the most important thing to do is expose people to other entrepreneurs. That if I'm around a bakery and I stay around the bakery, I'm eventually going to learn how to bake a cake, or at least have a business. So what we need to do is expose these young people, especially in high school. I've been pushing this for a long time to explore entrepreneurship and to introduce it to kids in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And see that at least have that. We push and promote, and I'm not against college, I went to college, I graduated from college, but I want kids to see other options out there besides going to a 4 year or going to a 2 year and getting a degree. So the main thing, I'm an educator. I think we don't expose them to entrepreneurship. So in every high school, I want to have you not only a festival, but also have an entrepreneurship place where I have many entrepreneurs. We've done that once a minute. We had local entrepreneurs came in and the kids walked around and had a conversation. And so the biggest thing is exposure and exposure at a young age and show them that it is possible. And it's not as much of a risk as you think it is. And you see people already doing it. The more you educate yourself and the more the skill that you have in developing your business, the least of a risk it is. So introducing it to kids, there's a lot of kids these days, they're not sure what they want to do. And that could be an amazing option for them. When they have a skill or they produce a skill. I promote every teacher. And I've been doing this for the last 15, 20 years. I've been helping teachers because I know when people get their entrepreneurs to get a side business. Because what I noticed is that the pay in Louisiana is so low, people getting a second job. So I said, as long as you get a second job, you already have a people, or you already have something that you enjoy doing with money. I just talked to a teacher today, and she has a natural washing powder. And let me try it. This is just what started at. And so I went back to it today and I said, hey, you have to find a way to market. I had another teacher, she loved home design. She showed some pictures of some family members that she actually designed at home, and she also designed birthday parties and monograph pages. And it was amazing. But she has a second job. I said, what's the second job? Continue to educate and use this opportunity to do something you enjoy doing, build extra income, so you can be financially independent. So I'm always promoting that, but the main thing is all we do with it is introducing and introducing everyone.
Okay, all right. It sounds like your whatever you're speaking through, it changed because you were very clear, and then so then it kind of got muffled a little bit. So I know that you mentor a lot of students. I'm obviously I'm at Lagrange throughout the school year, and talking to some of the students, they said, "Hey, you mentor them. What makes you want to mentor the young people and breathe life into them?"
Because when I was a kid, and a lot of people don't know this, so I'm a good say when I was in the fourth grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. And from the fourth grade, I had difficulty reading. And going all the way up to high school, I wasn't confident. I was an athlete, so I was confident as an athlete. I was confident in talking to people. I was never confident in reading in the public. It wasn't until I got to college. And I was never a study student, but I always had triggers or I had some type of way to get out of reading when I was in high school. And I don't even think the teacher thought I was being silly or being bad, but it wasn't that. It was that I didn't want to take my turn in reading, so I was clowning around and set up and things like that. So I was that kid. Yeah, it wasn't until when I got to college and I had a tutor as a freshman in college, and I'm taking all the media classes that I'm an athlete, so they determined to make sure that I passed. And this guy, and it was a young white guy, man. He was a senior in college, and I was like, man, I really don't like reading. And he said, no, it's not that you don't like reading. It's two things. You don't like what you read, and you just don't read. And the more you read, the better you're going to read. I was like, wow. That was an eye opener. It was just a guy that was paid to tutor me. And so I began to start reading things. Now, today, I read a book a month, one book a month. And I've been doing that for the last 5, 6 years. But so I know, looking at kids, I was that bad kid. So, and I know that in my community, some kids may be in a household that they only see past the household. Majority of kids never leave Lake Charles. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe people see the opportunity. Majority of kids don't even go to compliment stores, or they don't go to a nice restaurant, or they don't have to expose. So I felt that it was my calling and my responsibility. I became a coach because I love football and I wanted to share that love for football. But I saw a bigger picture and I became an administrator who actually exposed kids as well as teachers who say, this kid is not bad. He just not understanding why he is behaving the way he behaves. So kids need to know, and you know as well as I know, kids are going to listen to you unless they know you feel. So
Right.
what I realized is there were teachers that wanted to teach them but did not want to connect with them. And I said, no, you have to connect to them, you have to build a relationship, a real relationship with them. Because you can't take strict teachers. Kids
Right.
are the know that are you phony, are you not phony, are you really literally interested in their life. And so I realized that they need a mentor more than they need a teacher. So you have to be a mentor first. You have to build a relationship first with them, and you have to model what you want them to see in order for them to understand and believe. So to me, mentors are more important than teachers. Teachers should be that's what they really are. Mentors, they counselors, and mentors sometimes you parents, you know. So I wish we had more. And another thing is a study that shows that young African American males struggle when they're at schools that are predominantly white and they don't have at least one African American male at their school that they can reflect on it. They can actually see that. They can gravitate to the other person and reflect themselves in it. So I want to live a life that kids can be proud to see and reflect themselves in you, and reflect their see that they can do the same thing that I'm doing, or they can do way beyond them.
Well, that's awesome. Well, the kids are definitely our future, so keep doing that stuff. I know that it's making an impact on students. So that's awesome. So, how do you plan to address the issue of affordable housing in Lake Charles?
Well, first of all, I do real estate, and this has been an issue, and big on the issue all over the entire country. So what we need to do is give people opportunity. We need to meet everybody. Okay. we're already building a lot of rental properties, and that's fine. We have more rental properties now than we did uh, pre-hurricane. Right? We done had a lot of hurricanes in this area destroyed a lot of houses. So the rental properties are coming up. And we also got to give investors like myself and like other people an opportunity to purchase a lot of houses that are abandoned and people walk away from with them some type of deal. Right now, the city of Lake Charles is actually buying land. I don't think we should be in the business of buying land. We need to be in the business of transcending a property or a discarded land and have someone develop that property. But the most important thing is we also have to have incentives and some type of pathway of home ownership. You can't just live by rental property alone. We have a lot of people that are stable, but they don't understand the process of home ownership. So you need to train them and have to have a clear understanding. They feel forward when you know how to own your home and then give them some assistance along with the bank. There's a consistency. Purchase a property so you can build a home or purchase a home. And that's important. So once you get a home ownership, when you own a piece of the United States of America, you own a piece of Lake Charles, Louisiana, you are now totally, completely invested in the city. But you have to be an owner. And you have to assist people. It's not that difficult. There's so many different ways that people purchase property that people just don't know. And so we need to see a deep into make sure people are educated and provide free education. Don't be a gatekeeper. That issue is a lot of people want to teach you how to get along and find it wrong, but they're going to charge you a fee. Now you pay your fee with practice. Let me show you how to do it. And so once you start getting a list of people, start training, make sure the credit is right. Understand what a mortgage rate is. Understand what type of home, how much of a home can you possibly afford. I see to buy a house way too big. With my house too big. So you got to make sure that we get them in a house that they can afford, maybe help with a down payment, and then make sure that they are stable and they're owning their property.
Okay, all right. And staying on that same line. What do you think are some strategies that your administration would implement as it pertains to public transportation? You get people in a house, but a lot of times people are in a house, but they don't have transportation to get different places or to get around the city. So how do you plan to improve public transportation in the city?
Well, one of the multiple ways that we need to do it, one of the things that I've been introducing is introducing artificial intelligence to have a good understanding of how our transportation works. I also have surveys of how many people actually use transportation. That part of the city it needs it more than other parts of the city. So we can direct the transit in that direction. We need to build, we will improve the best transportation system, and you also need to promote other people to be independent. An easy way to be independent is drive Lyft or drive Uber. But if
So
you
hold on 1 second. Let me ask you this: is your speaker covered up?
yeah, how about this? Is it better?
Yes.
Hey, maybe
Yeah.
my stand. Let me hold it. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a whole lot better. Yes. So say what you said again, because I could hear some of it and it's important. So say what you said again. It's about public transportation. How do you improve that?
So public transportation is very, very important, and you need to use data to have a clear understanding of where the transportation needs to go, what area needs what transportation. Not only the data needs to be introduced with artificial intelligence. We have artificial intelligence that can look at the entire city and also do surveys to see what area needs transportation more than other areas, and where are they going? Where can we pick them up, and where are they going? So we need to have more bus transit, and it doesn't have to be a huge bus because we're not a big city, but we still have to have an option. That every 15 to 20 minutes, that a bus will come pick you up and where you're going. We also have to educate everyone on that system, and we also have to provide some technology to where they know exactly where to go at what time. So you stick that app on your phone, you press that app, you know that a bus this bus is coming in this location and at this time, and this is where it's going. So improving the marketing of the product, and that's all can be done with artificial intelligence. And it can tell you exactly where you are and teach people that you can go anywhere you want in the city of Charles in 15 minutes. You need 4 wheels. And so you got to have a clear understanding how to use it. Train people on how to use it. Because a lot of people, as young kids, they're going to take on real fast. But the biggest concern is the elderly. They may have a cell phone, but they're not sure how to use the app. So you need to teach them and show them exactly how you can use the app so you can get ready from the hospital or you get to the shopping center and you get back on stage.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely important. Artificial intelligence definitely can help improve a lot of those things and make the life easier for, especially for people in North Lake Charles who may have difficulty getting to grocery stores that are either in the south part of the city or in Moss Bluff, right? Um, that's important. So there are a lot of different challenges and things to tackle in the city. So we'll just talk about a few of these and dive deeper if we need to. So how do you intend to tackle the challenges of infrastructure maintenance and improvements? And, when I talk about that, I'm specifically talking about, flooding in the city. I know that whenever it rains, I always like, oh man, I think I need to leave Lake Charles sooner than I planned. So how do we tackle that?
So the drainage is what's strange about it is the drainage is very, very simple to fix, but it has to be predictable. We know that we're going to have bad rain. We know we're going to have a hurricane. And we also, it's amazing to me that people forget that you have to consistently manage our drainage system. Because we have a lot of trees, we have a lot of forests. And so when we have high winds, we have things like that. It's not only the city, and this is another issue. We do surveys. We hire people outside the city to do surveys to how to improve drainage. It's simple. Drainage flows down here. We know this. It's not like a thing. And we also know that it can get clogged up. We hire outside contractors for some strange reason, and we have personally capable people of doing it ourselves. The main thing is hiring the people to unclog the drainage, because we have to consistently do it. But it's not. It's another issue. It's not just the city. If we clean out the drainage in the city, we also have the drainages of the parish, and that was one issue that the drainage of the parish. Once we cleaned out the city, the parish didn't do their job. You have to hold the parish accountable. You're not going to pay for the entire parish. You're going to pay for the city of Lake Charles. But we have to have if they don't do their job, we have to put pressure on the police bureau to make sure that those drainages are completely clear so we can get to our water. But I don't think people actually see that there has to be pre-planned ahead of time. And we already know that that's what we're going to do. Now, some areas, it doesn't flood at all. The north side of Lake Charles, it rarely floods because the ground level is higher than most of the cities, most of the south part of Lake Charles. And they're focusing on the south part of Lake Charles, but you still got to make sure that you consistently evaluate within the city how are our water flowing. Every time it rains, we should have an inspector out there checking it out, even before it rains, to make sure that the flooding is fine. Because within time, that flood, it gets clogged up, and we know it. And so we can't neglect it. That's the thing that we found, that we neglected it, and once we found that it was a problem, we did not have the resources, the system to do it. We had the ability to do it. So right now, we already have a resource. We've already put money aside. We've already cleaned the drainage, but now we're waiting on the parish to clean it. And I'm not very good at waiting. So I will go as the mayor, go address the police bureau and ask, what's the hold up? Ask them, can you give me a time frame? What contractors are you going to use? And you hold them accountable. You can't just tell people you're going to do something and not give them an expectation of when it's going to get done. And if it still don't get done, it may have to require some type of legal action. It's amazing how things work fast when you get the legal processing part.
Yes, definitely. Trust me, I know about that. I've had to deal with that myself recently. So you know, we're going to talk. We're going to get back to politics and all this type of stuff. But people vote for people. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Right.
Yes.
So tell us something interesting or fun about you.
One thing is fun. I love sports. I love football. I follow high school football from high school, but I'm silly. I like to joke around. I look at the habit. One thing about me, you will never find a day that I'm gonna have a bad day. And everyone that meets me or talks to me, they're like, man, this dude always in a good mood. I don't see how a person can possibly have a bad day. That's not possible. If God bless you with the gift of life that day, how my day gonna be better? It makes no sense to me. So it's all about a mindset. And I'm always pushing people to always thinking about having a great mindset. You can alter your life if you live in a tent or you live in a mansion simply by your mindset and how you look at the world. It's not about what the world gives you, it's about your reflection and how you look at the world. So that's one thing about me. I'm always going to try to find a joke about a situation, but I cannot help myself. But if I see something that people want to say, I'm the guy that can say things that people want to say, but they don't say it. It is for me. Yeah, I'm one of the guys who's going to go my mom.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like that. So if you know it's just you at home and it's you in the four walls, what's that dessert you're gonna pull out?
Well, I love my mama German chocolate cake. So I try to stay away from German chocolate cakes. Make it, and then now she's starting to get to a point where my dad's birthday is on the 8th and my birthday on the 12th. So she makes one cake. And me and my dad been advocating we have to have our own separate cake. But now we don't need that separate cake. We need to split it in the middle. So what about that and dairy free? I don't know why I got into dairy free because I don't think I'm not sometimes. But dairy free and peanuts, the honey roasted peanuts. I eat that and sit down and watch football. We won a football game all day.
Okay, all right, all right. And
I love to cook. That's one thing I do. I'm saying I love to cook. I would cook at my office. I cook for my staff, at least once a month. And I get on social media, so much food I cook. And I just tell anybody, if y'all see this, just come on to my office and cook. So it's fun. And that's one of the things I think we need to vote on McDonald's. I honestly think McDonald's, and I challenge everybody, I'm going to promote this when I'm become mayor. I challenge anybody in the world to come to McDonald's and challenge us in any food you want to cook, and it's going to be the best.
yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Definitely. Last thing on that is, what's your favorite vacation spot? So let's say you're the mayor and you say, all right, now it's time for me to go take a break and go find my spot. What's that spot?
In the country, it's Houston. I love Houston, and one of the main reasons why it is so diverse in Houston, you can meet so many different people from so many parts of the country as well as the world. But they also have 11,000 restaurants. My goal is try almost every restaurant. I never go to the same restaurant in Houston. And that's in the city, and it's a fun place to go. But my out of the country, oh man, you gotta love Mexico.
You gotta
Mexico,
love where?
Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, there's parts of Mexico that is. I don't. People think Mexico is dangerous. There's a lot of places from Colombia, Mexico, Jamaica. These are some amazing places. I challenge people to go to. And it's the view and it's the natural resources that you see in those areas that you don't see.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, that's always good. Well, while you trying all 11,000 restaurants in Houston, I go to the same one all the time. So,
Well, you're gonna be surprised. Now, I gotta admit, I done tried probably 150 of them, and I maybe one or two, maybe three. I'm like, nah, this is not right. This is not good. But the majority of them is so infused. It's normally an infused food with soul food and Korean or African, and so I enjoy. I'm Italian. I enjoy trying those different those different inventions of food.
Okay, yeah, I can't do it. I go to the same restaurant with the intention of getting a different meal. And then I go, well, I know this works, so let me just. So, all right. So now let's get back to what the people want to talk about here. So, you know, health and wellness is one of those things that is important, not just in Louisiana, but it has to be important for around the country, right? So, how do we prioritize or promote health and wellness in Lake Charles? You know, Louisiana is one of those cities that even the vegetables they fry.
Yeah.
So,
Richard, so I work out 6 days a week. I eat and I try to educate myself more on herbal food and herbal remedies. We need to educate our people and give them an opportunity to have an workshop where they see exactly what processed foods are doing. And if they know, then they can make an informed decision. People that don't know, there are foods and products and from cereal and other things that are sold and allowed to be sold in the United States that are banned in other countries. And so I always tell people, hey, especially teachers, I say, that's banned in Europe or it's banned in somewhere else in Canada. And they don't even realize it. So the most important thing is we need to educate people on what you're putting in your body and how important it is. One thing that I don't know why they don't teach doctors about herbs and natural resources that keep you healthy, like beet juice. Beet juice can reduce blood pressure. I drink beet juice every day, and I don't even have high blood pressure, never did. But it's very, very source of being very being healthy. So things like that people don't even know about, like sea moss and things like that. So we need to educate them on that when I've been with options, I got a lady right here in North Lake Charles that makes my sea moss from her home. That's a business. So, and I got a lady that do my juicing and juice store. So we got to educate. The next thing we need to do is we have to remain active, have things for them to do. We got to move around. You can't just sit at the house and be bored, especially the elderly and especially the kids. The kids are already going to be like want to move around. So you have to have a structure with intention and make sure it's safe. A lot of elderly people, they really don't have a community or somebody that's with them all the time. So we have to push them to be around other elderly people, come to the park, let's do a walk around, let's have some type of event so you can continue to be mobile. We are designed as humans to continue to be mobile and also think. So I want to challenge people when it comes to mental health that you evaluate yourself on the mental health and have options available. One of the main reasons why we have homeless people, one of the main problems is because of a mental health crisis in the entire country. So we have to make sure that we provide that type of understanding of what is bothering you, and you have to realize why you are behaving the way you behave. So mental health is very important. Making sure we stay active, educating people on the things that you have, especially when it comes to
yeah. Okay. Awesome. I like that. So, let's talk about, when you have a city that's divided in a lot of things like Lake Charles is, there's a lot of things that's togetherness, but there's a lot of things that are divided. So how do you, Wilford Carter II, help people who are in South Lake Charles who may not know you like some of the people in North Lake Charles know you and trust you and believe that, hey, you can lead the city? How do you help them understand and know that you're going to be their mayor just like you would be the mayor for the folks in other parts of the city?
for the same reason when I get a group of freshmen that come to high school, they got to actually see. They got to have me. I got to be in that facility. I got to be in South Lake Charles just as much as I'm being in North Lake Charles. I got to see me at events in South Lake Charles, at restaurants in South Lake Charles. So the more they see you and look at common things that we enjoy doing in the city of Lake Charles. One, we enjoy eating, we enjoy having a drink. I need to be in their area just as much as I'm doing in the other people. The big thing we enjoy is sport. There's nothing like having a conversation about LSU that anybody in the city Lake Charles. So sometimes when I meet people, I talk about the things for sport. Unfortunately, some people like the Cowboys, whatever they're talking about, you start to understand that we are always in it. Another thing we talk about is YouTube. Just know people too. And once you start talking to them about our common interest and being around them, you have to be around them. It's the biggest issue of why we think separate. People in South Lake Charles think a certain way in North Lake Charles, and maybe you know the person, or you know it. People in North Lake Charles don't even go. And so they accept the people in North Lake Charles. Man, y'all come on, let's have a cookout. Put them pictures. Why the city can't give a good cookout? Why we can't say, we love to cook a good sauce. And then everybody thinks they sauce is the best. Okay, well, let's go on to the city center. Well, I'm city center, we are going to the city center, and there's a bunch of plants having a jambalaya competition. I said, I want to go to that. So once you start walking around and tasting and having a conversation with people, then you know, okay, I can deal with that. When you allow other people to control your narrative because you're not there, then they would develop a sense of insecurity or fear of who you are because it's clear that you seem like you're uncomfortable coming in my neighborhood. So you got to do everything. You got to do everything. And you gotta actually see you. You gotta be look welcome. You gotta smile. You gotta introduce yourself to people that you never talked to before. Because some people just don't feel comfortable talking to you. But you gotta be that mayor that is open and honest and you can look at a person and wave and smile to them so they can feel welcoming to come and just have a simple, small conversation with you. And that conversation don't have to be it don't have to be political. We don't even have to be religious. We have to be some of the comic boards that American love, that people that that's music, that's sport, that's food, things like that. That's fun, but not so core separate, you know. And so
Yes.
that's important to me is developing a relationship with people that are giving you and understanding it with no judgment, understanding how their core beliefs and their core values, how do they develop it? You support Donald Trump, that's fine. And I'm not saying I did, I'm not saying I did. I didn't because I'm a Democrat, but it's okay. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's not get too rough about it. And one thing about people, when you start talking about certain things that they believe is good, like religion, man, they would defend it to they'll be irrational.
Right.
So just stay away from it and respect what they say and move on to something that's a common goal, like loving your kids. Who don't love the kids?
Right. Yeah.
So leave down the food.
Yes. Absolutely.
So
Okay. All right. So give us three things that Lake Charles residents will benefit from you being the mayor of the city.
okay, three things. The first thing is we're going to have a lot more diversity, so we're going to have more inclusion. You're going to feel immediately that you're included in the city because we're going to bring festivals, we're going to bring events to the city of Lake Charles that does not isolate certain parts of the city. So you're gonna feel that. The other benefit is we're gonna do an internal audit to see where is money going, where the money should go, so we can immediately start repairing areas of the Lake Charles so you can actually see the repairs. It's not just repairs during a campaign year. For some reason, you want something done by a politician, you got to make sure you actually doing the campaign year. That's what I heard. So they're going to actually see things can take place. The other thing is complete total transparency. You're going to get tired of seeing me on your social media because I don't understand where we're not going to where people are. People basically get their news and most of the information from social media. So
Right.
we should have a social media person, a person hired this to manage the city social media on all platforms. And they need to frequently speak and be where you are. So when you see me here and there, you're going to feel comfortable. You'll be more comfortable with me being there. But those are the things that you know immediately that you can see. And once you continue to communicate and you speak me on social media, you're like, okay, maybe not bad. The more and more you see a person, the more and more relaxed you're going to start to be yourself that it's not bad. Because you're going to start to learn that my character, my nature, I'm a silly person, I love to cook, I'm a giving person. they're going to start seeing it. So you need to immediately start exposing that. Before I even become mayor, and once I get elected, you start putting it out on every social media, let them see it, let them see it. And then I'll be complete transparent and start showing them, okay, this is how much money we have. Don't, it shouldn't be a difficult, hard thing for them to find. Some people want to do some research of where money is going, and you need 5 lawyers and a priest to figure out where all this stuff is going. That's simple. Make things as simple as possible. We have 4 amendments to the Constitution that's about to that we're about to vote on, and one amendment is 180 pages. They don't take that long to explain what you're trying to do. Anything that takes that long, you need to vote no. It's a trick. So complete transparency without the difficulty of having you go research it, having you go read it. No, I'm gonna say it verbally. I'm gonna have it in different ways. You can go read it, or you can go check on the City of Lake Charles page. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, you'll know where you can go. And then you have to shorten it as well, because people don't want to listen to things too long.
Right.
If you want to talk about something important, you can run your mouth for about 30 minutes and then you start talking important, because they're going to tune out.
Right.
You start putting it in small snippets in 3 to 5 minutes, and so they can digest it and move on. But they also know the information. So those things are simplifications. That's easily to.
Okay. All right. So we have about 9 minutes left, and I want to get to one thing that I know that's near and dear to you, and this is around education. So, what role do you believe in the Carter administration that does education play in the future of Lake Charles, and how will your administration better support local schools?
Well, we need to shift our mindset in education. We looked at the national eye. They're trying to dismantle any federal involvement in education. They want to do that as absolutely fine. But you also have that same theory when it comes to state. So what I want to do is make sure that it's not just the education. We have to establish relationships. We got to build these kids up outside of the basic knowledge of the curriculum of what they're learning. So I want to impose putting more mentors into the school. I want to make sure the police department visit the school, and so they can film, as well as the National Guard, as well as the Army and the Navy. We need to put these people in them. I want to, there's a lot of groups and organizations. I just spoke to 𝗖𝗲𝗍𝗶𝗿 today. You have a lot of fraternities. You got a lot of people that are willing to come to the school. But you have to be committed for at least 4 years. They come to school one day and just leave. But I want them to see certain people in their community so they can reflect themselves in it. That would inspire them and give them some type of instructions, knowing and direction of where they're going. There's a lot of kids that they are struggling mentally of what they're doing. You can't learn if you're hungry. I want to make sure that we have a meal. We're going to try to one and we have free lunch in the brunch. We probably don't have that. So the city's going to have to provide some type of finances to make sure the kids eat. We have some programs in the summer and some after school programs, and we're going to make sure that kids are eating. We're going to make sure kids have mentors. Everything outside of teaching the curriculum that kids need support in, that's what we need to increase. We have to invest in the students and let them know that it's not just a city of old people or a city of people that want to do one thing. We have a very diverse group of teenagers as well as middle school and elementary that we want to expose them to certain things like entrepreneurship. We want to expose them to reading and exploring other options. So my goal is to make sure that unforeseen things that kids don't happen. Not just the curriculum, but making sure the mental health is good, making sure they're ignorant, making sure they have mental intelligence so they can have conflict resolution, they can resolve an argument or issue with another kid peacefully. And so I don't think we're doing that, and we haven't been doing that in the entire country. So that's one thing we're going to make sure we're doing. And most importantly, we need to make sure they are loved. They are loved by the children, and the city care about. We're going to do things for them. The city is going to make sure that you enjoy Your teenage, your middle school, and your elementary years, and your real potential. And so that's our job to make sure we have to market it, sell that, and not only market it and sell it, but make sure that we do it and do it for us.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to co-sign what you're saying. I know that I'm in Lake Charles schools more than some people that live in Lake Charles, and I live 4 hours away. So it's definitely important. I know that the students in 𝗂𝗃𝗃 Parish need it, and when you, like you said, when you connect with them, man, it makes a difference, and they show it all the time. So yeah, we're in agreement in that perspective. So in our last few minutes, Wilford, I'm going to kind of turn it over to you to sum up what you want the citizens, everybody, North Lake Charles, South Lake Charles, East, West, whatever, them to know why they need to go vote for ballot number 4 on March 29th.
Well, it's very simple. It's something that my leadership skills have already been spoken before. I've already built multiple companies. I'm a serious entrepreneur. I've already dedicated myself to high schools and committed myself to improving individuals outside of my family and want the best for the people. This is what you need to ask yourself. And this is every citizen in the side. Do you think we can do better? Do you think we can improve? Do you think we can advance? Do you think the entire city is being taken care of? Do you think we should, in a democracy, allow someone to continue to be elected in the same position? If you think those things, do you think we should? Do you think that we can advance more, we can do more in downtown, we can do more on I-10 corridors, we can do more for the kids in our area, we can improve our safety? Do you think we can improve all these things? We can provide for our elderly and educate people in a way they never seen, provide service that beyond average, but our service. And you think the city of Lake Charles can be one of the most premier cities in the entire country, and we're not there, it's simple. You have a person that you can vote for, and that person. And vote for me. The best thing about it is, if you don't like what I'm doing in 4 years, you got that option again. Okay? So I'm not a politician. I'm gonna tell you, you vote for me, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna be a mayor for the entire city, and not for just North Lake Charles, not for just South Lake Charles. It's fun to lend people together and watch people really explore and learn their city, the true city, all of the city. I really, really desire it. And this place really has the potential and the resources to be one of the most premier cities, not major key cities, but a premier city that people really want to raise a family. That's what we want. We look at the somewhere we not only that can live and own our own home, but raise a family and have our family members not leave a better opportunity. The ice space, we can see our name, we can see our family. So that's an opportunity I'm a more aggressive, more visionary, that believes in true fabric of Lake Charles. We haven't even busted the scene. And so I want to challenge our people. If you want to, please, my name is Wilford Carter. I'm number 4 on the ballot. We start voting actually this Saturday, March 15th, throughout the entire week, all the way to March 22nd. Okay? I know some of y'all going to be having a good time with St. Patrick's Day. Me too. Why you doing? Let's go throwing out folks. We don't hurt you. We go out and vote. That's all it takes. And the software reason people don't think the vote count that's silly. That people want you to believe it. That it only takes less than 10 minutes to vote. Less than 10 minutes. All right? After 100 years, if people have tried to stop other people from voting, so that's what reason. They're a democracy. So they don't think they're going to vote, but the actual election is March 29th. March 29th. That's change. That's true. That's find a new way, a new vision for those times, and see how young they are. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. And I thank you for always coming to LaGrange. I need my kids to see you at LaGrange and need to see multiple people so they can have other options, so they can see that they can be you.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely enjoyed and looking forward to getting back in to schools in Lake Charles as well. God bless you in the upcoming election. So folks, early voting starts on the 15th through the 27th, like he said, and then on the 29th is election day. So make sure you go out and vote. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight to Talk Leadership with Cedric. Thank you, Wilford, for agreeing to come on. I hope that you gained some valuable insights from Mr. Wilford Carter II. And this interview will replay on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. So make sure you let people know that didn't get to see this, didn't get to tune in. Let them know so that they'll be able to see this and gain some more insight from him. Please let your friends know that if they're wondering, if I'm invited other candidates. Yes, I've invited other candidates as well. Every candidate has been issued an invite. Wilford was the first one to respond to my invite request and say yes. So he's in. And Marshall Simeon will be with us on Monday night at 6:30. I'm waiting on the other candidates to set up dates. I've spoken to two of the other candidates. I'm waiting on the fifth one to respond. But we'll be here Monday night at 6:30 Central Time on the 17th with Marshall Simeon. Thank you guys again very much for tuning in tonight. Never accept good when great is available. So have a great evening.